Good day and welcome. As mediator nations like Egypt, Pakistan, and Turkey work to arrange talks between the United States and Iran, a critical question emerges. How can US President Donald Trump disengage from the ongoing conflict with Iran? What are the high stakes for any potential negotiations? President Trump launched military actions without a clear objective or a post-conflict strategy. He has also struggled to convince the American public of this engagement's necessity. Immediately, Americans felt the economic impact. A sharp rise in gasoline prices, a consistent pain point for US households. President Trump also faces the threat of escalating food prices if the Strait of Hormuz remains blocked. This crucial waterway, vital for oil, also carries essential fertilizer components like ammonia, sulfur, and urea. Blockages here drive up costs for American farmers and in turn consumer grocery prices. Iran further complicated matters by attacking US-allied Gulf states' infrastructure, including liquefied natural gas, or LNG, terminals in Qatar. Officials there predict years of repair work. These global trade disruptions prompted International Energy Agency Chief Fatih Birol to issue a stark warning. On Australian television, Birol stated the world faces two oil crises and a gas collapse in one, predicting the most severe energy crisis in decades. He cautioned, "No country will be spared from the impacts of this crisis." The White House's recent decision to temporarily ease oil sanctions on Iran, even during the conflict, underscores the US government's urgent desire for a resolution. This move aimed to increase global supply and temper price hikes, showing that a swift end to the conflict and global economic stability are paramount. But can the US secure a military victory? While immense military power exists, such operations are risky. Seizing Iran's enriched uranium stockpile is one hypothetical, but US expert Ilan Goldenberg, a former Middle East advisor, highlights Iran's constant readiness since last summer's 12-day war, eliminating any surprise. Goldenberg notes in Foreign Affairs magazine that Iran's Isfahan tunnels are probably among the most heavily defended facilities, making any ground operation treacherous. Occupying Kharg Island, a key Iranian oil export hub, is another option. Though potentially easier to seize, this risks significant US casualties, counteracts sanctions relief by further disrupting oil, and might not deter the mullahs. Political scientist Herfried Münkler, speaking to Handelsblatt, describes them as a regime willing to fight until the end, indifferent to their population's economic suffering. Such a move could also intensify Iranian attacks on Gulf shipping. Military victory seems highly risky when Iran can disrupt the world economy with comparatively limited effort. Could President Trump end this conflict unilaterally? A military victory is improbable. His alternative: declare success and withdraw. However, the Mullah regime's reaction is key. As Münkler explains, if Iran continues attacking neighbors, unable to strike the US directly, President Trump would likely have to reverse his peace declaration. Gulf states would not accept confronting Iran alone. Iran might prolong engagement to gain leverage, potentially pressing the US to influence Israel. For Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Iran's Mullah regime poses an existential threat. Israel seeks to dismantle Iran's military power, including its proxy Hezbollah. Given Israel's reliance on US support, any US commitment to curb Israeli actions against Tehran in exchange for ending Iran's nuclear program would be a monumental concession for Netanyahu. While the mullahs could present this as a victory, such security guarantees might be Iran's condition for a ceasefire. Crucially, the mullahs don't need to win this war. Their strategy is sustained resistance, including the Hormuz blockade, to destabilize markets and erode American public support through higher gasoline and grocery prices. This pressure is politically dangerous for President Trump, particularly with midterm elections in November. Axios reports mediator states aim to convene U.S. and Iranian representatives in Islamabad this week. The Wall Street Journal indicates Iran is making confident demands. These will be challenging talks for President Trump's team, but they offer better prospects than continued warfare or escalation. What's your take on Trump's Iran dilemma, high stakes for war, exit talks? Share your view in the comments. Do you think this will matter in the next news cycle? This video was generated using artificial intelligence.